Hey y'all, Billy Thompson here. If you're looking to fix up your truck, figure out what that weird noise is, or just learn a thing or two about keeping your car running right, you've come to the right place. I keep it simple, straight up, and hands-on. Go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And let's get to work. Enough jawing, let's dive in.
Fault code P0743 sounds like electric torque converter clutch circuit. Often, in OBD2 scanner software, the name may have the English spelling, torque converter clutch, TCC, is circuit electrical. Technical description and decoding of error P0743. The fault diagnosis code P0743 is set when the PCM or TCM detects an electrical fault in the electronic pressure control solenoid valve. Computer-controlled automatic transmissions use variable hydraulic pressure values to change gear and operate the torque converter clutch, TCC. In modern vehicles equipped with automatic transmissions, a torque converter is used between the engine and the transmission. It is used to increase the engine's torque output and wheel traction. The engine and transmission are effectively linked via a hydraulic clutch mechanism inside the torque converter. This increases the torque until the speeds match. Torque converter solenoids, TCC, direct the hydraulic fluid and engage the torque converter clutch to create a strong connection and increase efficiency. When the transmission solenoid is faulty, in most cases the problem is not with the electrics. Although error P0743 indicates exactly that. The problem is usually a foreign material that obstructs the mechanical operation of the solenoid or the flow of fluid through the transmission valve body. The linear pressure solenoid valve regulates the discharge pressure of the oil pump. According to driving conditions, in response to a signal sent from the transmission control module, TCM, or power control module, PCM. Malfunction symptoms. The main P0743 fault symptom for the driver is the illuminated MIL, malfunction indicator light. This is also referred to as check engine or simply check engine light. They can also manifest as, the check engine control lamp on the control panel will light up, the code will be stored as a fault. The car goes into gearbox emergency mode. The transmission slips during gear changes. Transmission jams in gears. Gear changes are difficult. Transmission overheating. Increased fuel consumption. Problems with engaging and disengaging the torque converter lockup clutch. Malfunction P0743 is quite serious, as it can lead to driving problems. Transmission problems can occur, affecting engine operation. It is advisable to rectify it as soon as possible to avoid more serious consequences. Causes of the error. The P0743 code could mean that one or more of the following problems have occurred. The torque converter clutch, TCC, solenoid valve is defective. Contaminated fluid or clogged transmission filter. Low transmission fluid level. Transmission fluid passages are blocked. Faulty transmission pump or transmission valve housing. Other mechanical faults inside the transmission. Wiring problem or damaged connector. In rare cases, PCM or TCM malfunction. How to eliminate or clear fault code P0743. Some suggested steps for troubleshooting and correcting fault code P0743, change the ATF fluid and filter. Top up the transmission fluid to the required level. Flush to clean the transmission's internal pipes. Test, if necessary replace faulty pressure control solenoid valve. Repair or replace the faulty transmission pump and transmission valve housing. Check the connectors and wiring. Flash or replace the PCM or TCM. Diagnosing and solving problems. Before starting the P0743 troubleshooting process, you should study the Technical Service Bulletins, TSB, for your particular vehicle. In some cases, this can save a lot of time by pointing you in the right direction. Next, you should check the fluid level and check the condition of the fluid for contamination. Before replacing the fluid, you should check the vehicle's records to see when the filter and fluid were last changed. You should then carry out a detailed visual inspection to check the condition of the wiring for obvious defects. check the connectors and wiring for the torque converter solenoid valve and PCM or TCM. Normal readings for cables and connections should be 0 ohms of resistance. The wiring continuity check should always be carried out with the power disconnected from the circuit, to avoid short circuits and creating additional damage. Resistance or lack of continuity indicates faulty wiring that is open or short-circuited. In this case, repair or replacement will be necessary. Torque converter clutch solenoid, TCC, check the resistance in the TCC solenoid and the internal transmission wiring after removing the wiring harness connector. The multimeter should be set to ohm scale with positive and negative leads on the pins for the TCC power and control circuit. The resistance should be within the manufacturer's specifications. If it is too high or exceeded, remove the oil pan from the transmission to inspect the solenoid inside the transmission, if possible. Check the voltage in the TCC solenoid supply circuit or at the wiring harness connector on the TCM. Transmission Control Module, TCM, is since the torque converter clutch is only activated during certain driving conditions. It will be necessary to monitor the TCM with the advanced diagnostic tool to determine whether the TCM is sending a command to the TCC solenoid and what the actual feedback readings are. To check that the TCM is actually sending a signal, you will need a graphic multimeter set up for duty cycle or a digital storage oscilloscope. Connect the positive wire of the multimeter to the wiring harness that goes to the MTC, and the negative wire to a good earth. The duty cycle must be the same as that set by the MTC in the extended diagnostic tool reading. If the cycle remains at 0% or 100% or is intermittent, check the connections again. If all the cables and the solenoid are okay, but the P0743 error remains, the TCM may be faulty. Ford, Crown Victoria, Explorer, F-150, Falcon, Hyundai, Accent, Elantra, H1, Solaris, Sonata, Sterix, Terracan, Jeep, Grand Cherokee, Wrangler, Kia, Ceed, Picanto, Rio, Spectra, Lincoln, LS, Mazda 3, 626, Bongo, MPV, Mercedes-Benz, W211, Opel, Astra, Omega, Vectra, Subaru, Suzuki, Volkswagen, Jetta, Polo. With fault code P0743, it is sometimes possible to find other faults. The most common are the following: P0713, P0733, P0740, P0744, P0745, P0748, P0750, P0753, P0755, P0758, P0760, P0763, P0773, P0785, P1451, P1742, P1747, P2784. Fault code P0743, electric torque converter clutch circuit. In conclusion, understanding fault code P0743 is essential for diagnosing issues related to the electric torque converter clutch circuit. This code can indicate problems such as a faulty clutch solenoid, wiring issues, or even transmission fluid concerns. Addressing these issues promptly can help maintain your vehicle's performance and prevent further damage. If you encounter this code, it's advisable to consult a professional mechanic to ensure a thorough inspection and proper repairs. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more informative content on automotive diagnostics.